Hey, Demetria.
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing as well as I can in this time.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, man.
Good to talk to you again. It's time for me to know I got soul here. Thank you
Good to
for making
see
the
you.
time once again.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. When we last talked for the last interview, your debut album was just coming out. Officially yours.
Yeah.
Love the album. It's been a few years now since then. Can you just go ahead and reflect back on the album for me and what you remember about creating it and what it meant to you?
Oh, wow. The album was a culmination of a dream. I'd wanted to be a singer since the very first time I heard Whitney utter a note. And I always wanted to be able to tell my story. Getting into the acting world, I was telling a lot of different people's stories, walking in a lot of different shoes. People recognized all of these different characters. But Officially Yours, like the cover art, I don't know if you remember, I was like kind of naked, but
Yeah.
It wasn't to be, it wasn't to be freaky as much as it was to just be me and exposing who I was as a person. So Officially Yours meant a lot to me because it was my first real time to connect with people, get them to understand how I felt about the love I was in, how I felt about the woman I was at that time, and just hoping that they could relate with that.
Awesome project. The thing that stood out to me the most was your vocal performance on some of these songs. Like You Give Good Love and like Home. I mean, these were outstanding vocal performances. And like for me, I knew you from being an actress. And I was just so blown away when I heard you on the album. So talk about your vocals a bit, how you developed that talent.
As I said, Whitney Houston is a huge, huge, huge facet of my singing endeavor. Not only is her voice phenomenal, beautiful, soulful, stirring, but it had such a depth to it, and it made you feel. And even if you couldn't sing, when you were trying to build them notes, you felt like just maybe, you know what I mean? What you were feeling was actually getting out, so you had room to go on and continue to conquer. So when I did the album, and especially those two songs that you mentioned, I was in the midst of the Bobby Christina biopic and playing her. So it was just crazy to me that my album was coming out in a space where I'm actually getting to pay tribute to the woman who made me want to sing in the first place. So that's why those two songs literally had no choice but to be on there.
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, you had released songs throughout the 2000s, I believe starting in like 2011 or so. At what point did it become real to, how come you didn't start an album sooner? What made you wait till like 2017?
Fear.
Really?
Fear like a mug.
Really?
Getting into the music game, especially at the time that I was, it was getting into, a little bit more liberating stuff than what I was ready to put out at the time. On top of that, being the new kid in the school, going and figure out where to sit, who's going to let you sit next to them, they're going to snack your lunch, it's nerve-wracking presenting yourself and hoping that everybody likes it. So as I was evolving, the project was ever evolving. I was consistently working, hallelujah, for the checks. But that kind of put a hindrance on things too, because, as I'm trying to get in the studio and I'm trying to have these notes come out properly, I'm over here on set yelling, get down, because I'm banging on somebody with a gun. So there was a lot of different moving parts. On top of that, I'm a mommy. So I wanted to be my most authentic self, but I also understood that my kid is going to listen to this one day and I'm going to have some explaining to do if I come wrong. So there were a couple of different facets of it, but fear was the biggest thing, and understanding that the fear was not a hindrance as much as a realization that it meant something to me was part of what I had to get to. And I think I got there by the time 2017 rolled around.
I got you. I mean, there were some great songs you had made, though. Like, I remember I Still Believe in Love with Music Soul Child. I really like that one. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one. Anthony David, got a chance to collaborate with him. And then the Brat. Oh, my God. That's my baby.
So I saw our friend Travis Cherry in here. Your producer you work with a lot. He's a good friend of ours. He raves about you all the time and your work.
He's amazing.
Talk about what it's like working with him.
You have people that you work with, and you're working with them. You can have respect, you can have admiration, you can definitely see their importance in what you do. And then you have those people who become part of the soul of the project. Travis Cherry and that daggone Purple Room, let me tell you something. Travis, when we get in the studio, he was like zooming in on me every time he saw me. And it wasn't that I had no interest in working with him. I think he is brilliant. He is brilliant in what he does. It's just to find somebody that believed in me like that, that was willing to be so sacrificial, that was willing to put themselves out there on my behalf and willing to go the distance with me was something I wasn't necessarily used to. You know, I worked with a couple of people on a couple of different things, but for somebody to say, yo, I want to produce your whole joint. We'll get whoever in here we need to get in here. We'll make it happen and pop how we need to. I'll use my resources. You'll use your resources. With our powers combined, we are Captain Planet. So Travis Cherry, that Purple Room, that's always, always home for me.
That's amazing. And he's been hinting a bit about the new music he's been working on with you. I don't know how much you could tell us at this point. If there's anything you can fill us in on about any new music.
I'm in a different place.
Okay.
I'm in a totally different place. I'm feeling my beat a lot more. I have graduated from motherhood, and I say that because my son is grown AF. So now I can be the woman I want to be. You know, I feel a little bit more liberated in the woman that I am today. Mm-hmm. So the music is going to definitely reflect that. You know, love is a choice. I'm choosing wiser. Right. Understanding the grown womanness that I am walking in has been just a really, really cool thing. So the new music, songs like Crown, you know, where I'm understanding how important I am to me. So I can't let you just do me any damn way. Blame You. Talking about that dude that just can't get enough. It's over, boo. Let's go. You know, like there's a lot of different content in that people haven't really seen from me because I wasn't ready to reveal it because I didn't understand it within myself. So what you'll hear in this next joint, yeah.
Looking forward to it for sure. Let me ask you this, how do you balance, you know, being such a successful actress, how do you balance and find time to even do music?
That's been a big part of the struggle lately. Filming Motherland Fort Salem, which is on Freeform tonight, 9 p.m. Central. Watch that thing. In Vancouver for 6 months. Like I'm in a whole different country, whole different time zone, working really long hours, doing stunts, doing training. Like it was an absolutely phenomenal experience, but it really left little room for anything else. And when I put out music, I always like to be able to get on platforms like with you, get on the road with Fantasia. Hey, Fantasia girl, what's up? You know, like being able to just really be out there and be with the people, hear what they like, hear what they don't, see if they're feeling me on these different things. And not being able to do that was something that made me not want to, put anything out quite yet. By the time I get ready to do this, I want to make sure that I have my visuals in line. I want to make sure that I'm completely ready to be exposed for whatever pieces people are trying to get to, and just being a part of the growth with the people. So as soon as I can, I will. Awesome.
And how did you even come to the point where you wanted to do an album? I mean, having so much success as an actress, you know, was doing a musical album always a goal of yours your whole life? Or like how did that become a reality?
Music was always first.
Really? It was first?
Always first.
Okay.
I mean, not to get too deep, but, you know, being a single mom, kind of young, molestation, homelessness, friggin' just life. I've been through life. And music is that language that everybody understands. And it's that thing that got me through without question. So being able to be an artist in that sense was always very important to me, regardless. If I never get paid for it, I'm still going to do it. I just posted something else. Just Whitney popped in my spirit. Let me just sing this moment. Thank her, you know, in my own little way, you know, and it's on the gram. It's not about money all the time, you know, and that's when, you know, that's your passion. Now the acting stuff, I like it. You know, so I'm really enjoying that, and I'm liking the roles and the opportunities I'm getting to do with that. But there will never be a moment where music is not part of my life.
It's amazing. Love it. And music and R&B, we're happy to have you. You know, such amazing work you put out.
Thank you.
Can you talk about just how you're being impacted by everything going on with the pandemic in the world as far as your career? You know, how much is that impacting, you know, the work you're able to do?
Where's my wine? Bruh! I can't do nothing. You know, what has come into very clear focus thanks to COVID-19 and this quarantine is that work is work. It doesn't matter the platform. It doesn't matter how much people see of it. It's work. And what I, as an artist, I'll only speak on my behalf, have experiences. You know, I had a show I was supposed to start March 30th. I had counted those coins. I went and bought a Tesla. I was excited. God was just working. You know, I'm sitting here like, okay, we're in the depths of Motherland Fort Salem. Let's look forward to this season 2. You know, pilot season is here. Like, auditioning, screeching halt. Checks, screeching halt, except for residuals. Hallelujah. But, you know, really, really understanding that when you cannot perform and that work stops, your creative juices still have to be flowing. I'm still looking at auditions. I am still creating content. I'm still looking at music. My son, his IG, shameless plug, at Cairo for real. I love you, baby. He's into music now. So he's producing, he's getting his rap on, he's shooting his own content and videos and putting stuff up on YouTube and iTunes. So I'm working with him pretty extensively, just listening to his project and getting him ready to walk in the same kind of shoes. So this thing, it's stopped the normal part, but it has ignited something else.
Wow. That's amazing.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's a dope way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And just final question for you, because I know we don't have a lot of time, but is there any acting you did or roles you did before all this quarantine stuff and social distancing happened that we could expect to be coming out in the future? You know, stuff that was already filmed or anything you've worked on?
We are in episode 7 tonight, I believe, of Motherland Fort Salem. Again, that's on Freeform, 9 p.m. tonight, 8 Central. And the previous episodes are available on Hulu. A House Divided. Filmed that. We have gotten 2 seasons in on that thing in 1 year, which I had never done before. That's coming out on the 30th, which is tomorrow. House of Pain. For all of you House of Pain heads, Tyler Perry is bringing it back. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. The whole crew is back. We should be coming out on BET hopefully this summer. I don't have a direct date for that, but if you stay tuned to my Instagram, I'll make sure you know I got soul, got the tea. And I have a guest star moment on American Soul. I am playing one of the Pointer Sisters. I'm sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Not one of the Pointer Sisters. I'm going to leave that for another time. Okay. But I am very excited about what you are going to see with American Soul. It is one of the, you'll see.
Amazing.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm glad we got so much in the can beforehand. Yeah, it's time to go. So we'll see.
I saw a couple people ask about Saints and Sinners. Is that going to be coming back at all, or can you say anything about that?
Saints and Sinners, I hope is definitely coming back. There's been a that's what threw me off with the American Soul moment. I was like, I want to talk about that. We've been in talks. We've been in definite talks, but again, quarantine has a way of putting things on ice. So hopefully, I know the whole cast is looking forward to the opportunity to continue the salaciousness of that storyline. So hopefully, very, very soon, we'll have some information on that for you. Amazing. All right, so Demetria, we're just about out of time. Is there anything you'd like to add before we get out of here? Y'all, thank you so much for rocking with me. You know I got soul. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all been there with me from the beginning and even on through these couple of years. So thank you so much for what you do, keeping hip hop, R&B, all of it, soul alive, well, that heart beating. And y'all just continue to stay safe. Stay home. Georgia, I know they didn't open this thing up, but don't be no fool. I love you. Stay alive. Thanks, Demetria. We'll talk again soon. Bye. Take care.